New Zealand, the land where volcanoes meet glaciers. Imagine a place where you can walk on ancient ice in the morning and swim in a volcanic hot lake by afternoon. New Zealand, 31 places where Earth never finished creating itself, where fire and ice wage an eternal battle. But first, a question. What impresses you more? Volcanoes that boil the ocean or glaciers that carve mountains? Comment your answer below, because in the next 23 minutes, you're going to see both. And one of them hides a secret that scientists are only beginning to understand. This is New Zealand Revealed. Part 1. The volcanic north, where Earth boils. We begin in the north. Here, Earth's crust is so thin you can hear the planet breathing. 1. Rotorua, the thermal wonderland. Rotorua, the only city in the world built on an active geothermal field. Steam rises from the streets. Houses shake from geysers in their backyards. Here, 500,000 liters of boiling water explode from the ground every day. But Rotorua is just the beginning, because beneath this city, something much larger is awakening. 2. Wai-O-Tapu, Devil's Palate. Wai-O-Tapu. In Maori, it means sacred waters. Scientists call it the Devil's Palate. Champagne pool, 75 meters wide, 62 meters deep, 74 degrees Celsius. The bright orange water isn't paint. It's arsenic and antimony dissolved in acid. So toxic it can dissolve metal. So beautiful that 250,000 people come to see it every year. 3rd, Pohutu Geyser, the faithful giant. Pohutu, the largest geyser in the southern hemisphere, erupts up to 20 times a day, launching boiling water 30 meters into the sky. It's been active non-stop for over 100 years. The Maori believed it was the breath of the gods. Geologists know it's something more, a direct window into Earth's molten interior. 4. White Island, the active volcano. 48 kilometers offshore, White Island. New Zealand's most active volcano. The country's only accessible marine volcano. Walking here is walking on a time bomb. The ground is 600 degrees beneath your feet. The air reeks of pure sulfur. And the crater contains an acid lake so concentrated it can dissolve clothing in seconds. In 2019, it erupted without warning. 22 people died. White Island shows no mercy. 5. Taupo, the sleeping giant. Lake Taupo. Looks peaceful. What you don't see is that you're looking at the crater of the most violent eruption of the last 5,000 years. In 232 AD, this volcano exploded with the force of 100 atomic bombs. It threw so much ash that it darkened the sky in China. Rome recorded red sunsets for months. Today, Taupo sleeps, but seismographs register movement, always. The giant is only resting. 6. Tongariro National Park, Mount Doom. Tongariro, the world's oldest dual World Heritage National Park, sacred to the Maori, immortalized by Peter Jackson as Mount Doom. 3 active volcanoes. Mount Ruapehu last erupted in 2007. Mount Ngauruhoe in 1977. Mount Tongariro still occasionally throws ash, a reminder that here, Earth never finished forming. 7. Emerald Lakes, acidic jewels. In Tongariro's heart, the Emerald Lakes. 3 electric green lakes that look photoshopped. You can't swim here. The water is so acidic it would burn your skin. The color comes from dissolved volcanic minerals, sulfur, iron, magnesium. Toxic beauty in its purest form. 8. Hot Water Beach, natural spa. Hot Water Beach. 2 hours before and after low tide, you can dig a hole in the sand and create your own natural hot pool. Water at 64 degrees Celsius flows from volcanic rock beneath the beach. Thousands come with shovels, searching for the perfect spot. It's chaotic, it's unique, it's New Zealand. 9. Huka Falls, the throat of the earth. Huka Falls, 220,000 liters of water per second forced through a 15-meter wide canyon. The turquoise color is real. Volcanic rock particles pulverize so finely they reflect only blue light. The roar can be heard for kilometers. The Maori called it Huka Nui, great foam. Impossible to improve that name. 10. Glowworm Caves, live in stars. And in total contrast to fire, absolute darkness. Wai-O-Tapu Glowworm Caves, 30 million years old. Thousands of bioluminescent larvae hanging from the ceiling, creating underground constellations. They're not worms. They're fly larvae that glow to attract prey. But in the total darkness of this cave, they look like stars, as if the night sky had fallen underground. The shift south. But here's New Zealand's secret. What you just saw, all that volcanic activity, all that fire, exists because the Pacific Plate is being dragged beneath the country at 4 centimeters per year. And in the south, that collision created something completely opposite. Ice. Part 2. The glacial south, where ice rules, South Island. Here, the collision of tectonic plates lifted mountains to 3,000 meters, and those mountains trapped ice, 11. Southern Alps, the backbone, the Southern Alps, 500 kilometers of snow-capped peaks, 27 mountains over 3,000 meters. Aoraki/Mount Cook, 3,724 meters, the country's highest mountain. Sir Edmund Hillary trained here before conquering Everest. Now you understand why. 12. Franz Josef Glacier, the fast mover. Franz Josef, the fastest moving glacier in the southern hemisphere. It moves 4 meters per day. The strange thing, Franz Josef descends to just 300 meters above sea level. So low it ends in rainforest, ancient ice touching ferns, only in New Zealand. But wait, because the next glacier is even more impossible. 13. Fox Glacier, the twin giant. 20 kilometers away, Fox Glacier. Franz Josef's twin, but longer. 13 kilometers of pure blue ice. You can walk inside ice caves. You can see crevasses 40 meters deep. You can touch ice that fell as snow 800 years ago. Both glaciers are retreating, 2 kilometers in the last 100 years. Maybe in 50 years they won't exist. 14. Tasman Glacier, the largest, Tasman. New Zealand's largest glacier, 27 kilometers long, 600 meters thick. But Tasman is dying. It's melting so fast it created a terminal lake, Tasman Lake, filled with blue icebergs floating like ghosts of the past. Scientists say in 30 years, this glacier will be completely lake. You're watching extinction in slow motion. 15. Aoraki/Mount Cook, Sacred Summit. Aoraki. In Maori, it means cloud piercer. For the Ngai Tahu, this mountain is sacred, the ancestor of their entire people. For climbers, it's the ultimate challenge. 80 people have died attempting to conquer it. Hillary climbed this mountain 18 times before attempting Everest. He said Aoraki was more technical, more dangerous, more unpredictable. 16. Lake Taupo, the turquoise mirror. Lake Taupo, the most impossible colored lake you'll see. The turquoise comes from glacial flour, rock pulverized so finely by ice that it floats in suspension, reflecting only blue wavelengths. In spring, purple lupins cover the shores, purple and turquoise, the colors of an alien planet here on Earth. 17. Lake Pukaki, the blue paradise, Lake Pukaki. If Taupo is turquoise, Pukaki is electric blue. This lake is fed by glaciers from Mount Cook. The concentration of glacial flour is so high, the water looks like liquid paint. Peter Jackson filmed Lake Town here for The Hobbit. He didn't need special effects. 18. Meraki boulders, alien eggs. On the east coast, something strange. Meraki boulders. Perfectly spherical rocks, some 3 meters in diameter, scattered on the beach like dinosaur eggs. They're not volcanic, they're not glacial, they're concretions, minerals that crystallized around a core during 60 million years on the ocean floor. Erosion freed them. Now they rest on the beach, like artifacts from another time. 19. Milford Sound, the rainiest place. Milford Sound. Rudyard Kipling called it the eighth wonder of the world. Hard to argue. Vertical cliffs of 1,200 meters, permanent waterfalls cascading directly into the sea, and rain. Milford receives 7 meters of rain per year. It's one of the wettest places on the planet. The fjord was carved by glaciers 100,000 years ago. Now, the ice has retreated. It left this cathedral of stone and water. But Milford has a secret underwater. 20. Doubtful Sound, the Silent Deep. Doubtful Sound. 10 times larger than Milford, but receives 1/10 of the visitors. Here, fresh water from rain floats above seawater, creating a dark layer that blocks sunlight. And in that darkness, 100 meters below the surface, grow rare black corals that normally exist at 1,000-meter depths. Doubtful Sound is so silent you can hear your heartbeat. 21. The Catlins, Forgotten Coast. The Catlins, the coast that tourism forgot. Waterfalls cascading directly into the ocean. Petrified forest from 180 million years ago. Sea lions, yellow-eyed penguins, Hector's dolphins, the world's smallest and rarest dolphin, only 7,000 remain. This is New Zealand without filter. 22. Cathedral Caves, Sea Cathedrals. Cathedral Caves, only accessible 2 hours a day during low tide. Caverns 30 meters high carved by waves over thousands of years. The ceiling drips fresh water. The floor is black volcanic sand. And when the tide rises, everything disappears beneath the sea. Earth playing hide and seek. The living contradiction, fire, ice, two opposing forces. But in New Zealand, they don't compete. They collaborate. Part 3. Where fire meets ice, the living land. This is the part nobody tells you. New Zealand isn't volcanoes or glaciers. It's volcanoes and glaciers at the same time, kilometers apart. 23. Mount Ruapehu, ice on fire. Mount Ruapehu, an active volcano covered in glaciers. Crater Lake at its summit is an acid lake at 25 degrees Celsius, surrounded by ice. The lake heats before eruptions. In 1995, it erupted, instantly melting ice. The Lahar, a river of volcanic mud, traveled 60 kilometers in less than an hour. Fire melting ice, creating destruction, only for ice to return later. 24. White Island versus Franz Josef, 400 kilometers apart. Think about it. White Island throws lava in the north. Franz Josef advances 4 meters per day in the south. Only 400 kilometers separate them. In a country the size of Colorado, you have active volcanoes and moving glaciers. There's no other place on Earth like this. 25. Queenstown, adventure capital. Queenstown, the world's adventure capital. Bungee jumping was born here. A.J. Hackett jumped from Kawaro Bridge in 1988. Jet boating, paragliding, skiing, extreme hiking. Everything was invented or perfected here. Why? Because Queenstown is surrounded by the Southern Alps, 2,000-meter mountains 10 minutes from downtown. Lake Wai-O-Tapu, glacier formed, as your backyard. Extreme geography creates extreme sports. 26. Lake Wanaka, the lonely tree. Lake Wanaka, home to New Zealand's most photographed tree. A willow growing in the water, alone, unbreakable. Thousands come to photograph it. Instagram made it famous. But the truth is more interesting. This tree survives because its roots found volcanic nutrients beneath the glacial lake bed. Fire feeding life in ice water. 27. Roy's Peak, the Vista Point. Roy's Peak, a 6-hour hike, 1,500 meters of ascent. At the summit, you see 360 degrees of New Zealand. Lake Wanaka below, the Southern Alps to the east, Mount Aspiring to the west. 16,000 people climb every year just to stand on that edge and understand how small we are. 28. Abel Tasman National Park, Golden Beaches, north coast of the South Island. Abel Tasman, the country's smallest but most visited national park. Golden sand beaches. Water so clear you see the bottom at 10 meters. Seals sunbathing. Kayaks gliding between islands. This is New Zealand in Mediterranean mode. Proof that the country isn't just ice and fire. It's also paradise. 29th, Fiordland National Park, the untouched. Fiordland. 1.2 million hectares. New Zealand's largest national park. Here, 95% of the terrain has never been touched by humans. No roads, no towns. Only forest, mountains, and 14 fjords carved by glaciers. It's so remote that species are regularly discovered. In 1948, they found the takahe, a bird they thought extinct for 50 years. Fiordland is New Zealand before humans existed. 30. Hobbiton. Middle-earth made real. And then there's Hobbiton, the filming set from The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, preserved as a permanent village. 44 hobbit holes built into real hillsides. The Green Dragon Inn serving real beer. Real gardens growing. Peter Jackson chose New Zealand for its impossible landscapes. He created fantasy. But the truth is, New Zealand was already fantasy. 31. Wai-O-Tapu Glowworm Caves. Darkness revisited. And we end where the fantastic becomes real. Wai-O-Tapu isn't just glowworm caves. There are underground rivers. You can raft in total darkness with only bioluminescence as light. You float in ice-cold water underground. Thousands of blue lights above. Absolute silence. It's the place where you understand that New Zealand didn't play by normal geological rules. Conclusion, the Earth unfinished. 31 places. Volcanoes boiling oceans. Glaciers carving mountains. Lakes that look like paint. Caves that glow in darkness. New Zealand isn't a finished country. It's a country under construction. Every year, volcanoes grow a few centimeters. Glaciers retreat meters. Earthquakes move cities. Tectonic plates collide 4 more centimeters. This is Earth's laboratory. The place where you can see how a planet is formed. The Maori have a word, Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. They didn't name the country for its mountains or lakes. They named it for the clouds. Because in New Zealand, clouds are different. They form when cold air from glaciers collides with hot air from volcanoes. Even the sky is a battle between fire and ice. So, let's go back to the opening question. What impressed you more, the volcanoes or the glaciers? Comment your answer below and tell us, of these 31 places, which would you visit first? If New Zealand left you breathless, subscribe to Travel Earth Adventures. Every week we explore another country that defies the impossible. Next week, Peru, where the Andes touch the Amazon. I'm Travel Earth Adventures, and this was New Zealand, the land where Earth never stopped creating itself.